I'm Hannah.
And I'm Simon.
And welcome to the 10th episode of PolyWaffle,
the arts variety show by the students of Melbourne Polytechnic.
We've got a jam-packed show coming up for you tonight. In this episode, we'll take a look at how fashion can help an artist grow and how a local record store is keeping vinyl alive in today's digital landscape.
That's right, Hannah. We'll also learn a fresh new dance routine.
But first up, we look into a day in the life of musician Matthew Paul, a talented multi-instrumentalist who is just about to finish his diploma in performance arts. Let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Matthew Paul and this is a day in my life. Usually when I wake up, I browse Facebook and Instagram for a good 20 minutes each. Then I get up, brush my teeth, have a shower, just do the usual. Then I make my way to the kitchen, eat breakfast, then go in my room, get dressed. Usually I help my parents out by driving my siblings to school, which I don't mind doing, but can get annoying at times. Currently working on my car, so I usually spend all day working on my car. Usually I do that all the way till about 6, 7 or till dark. Then when I'm done with that, I come inside, wash my hands because I get grease all over my hands and, my outfit for the day, tradie, clothes. Yeah, so then I jump in the shower again, have dinner, whatever mum makes. She usually makes pasta a lot. And then to wrap up the night, usually I like to just chill in my bed, watch YouTube, listen to music. I love music, just wind down a bit for the day. Then scroll through Facebook a bit, and then when I start feeling tired, turn the phone off, put it aside, go to bed, and that's pretty much my day. So, yeah.
I hope to hear from him again in the future.
Same here, but now it's time for DIY, and Felipe and Natalie are going to teach us some fly dance moves.
Hey guys, I'm Felipe.
And I'm Natalie.
And we're gonna teach you a short choreography.
And we hope you enjoy it. So we're gonna start doing ball heel with our right foot, now with our left foot, and now we're gonna add our arms, right side, left side. Now we're gonna step to the right side, we're gonna slide our arms and we're gonna close. After that, we'll jump on your right foot and we close. Now bend your knees and open and roll your hips twice. And then step to the side with your right foot. From here, jump to the back, close your arms and step forward. Still on the right foot, forward, cross and turn. And now jump with the right foot forward. Now bend down, push up and land on your heels. And finally, ball heel, tilt, tilt.
Thanks for watching.
And thanks for dancing with us.
That looks like a lot of fun. I might try that dance at home sometime.
Look, I'm not too sure, Hannah. I think I've got 2 left feet.
Anyway, it's now time for our first feature story, where we meet Simon, co-owner of Polyester Records, and find out how they're keeping it analog in today's digital world.
My name's Simon and I run Polyester Records, a shop that's been here pretty much the whole time I've been born. And I took over the business in 2010. I'm here a lot and we have a separate business where we run a bar up the back, and I have a small label that I run separate to this business called Nice Music as well. I really wanted to work in the biz when I was a kid. Then as soon as I finished school I started working in another shop that isn't there anymore, Gaslight Music, that used to be in the city. I spent like about 4 years there, maybe more, and did a bunch of different jobs there, and didn't care about working in the biz as much after working there, and was just having fun, and and went to work for a record company called Shop, which at the time was the biggest Australian independent distributor. Worked a couple of other things in between here and there, but I just came to work here thinking it was an in-betweener thing, and then me and my friend Nate, who had worked here for 7 years prior, we decided to buy the business together when we got offered, and the rest is history, And the shop that I first started working at, Gaslight, I mentioned before, was kind of massive, and it was a big space in the city, and that kind of business model doesn't really work anymore. So it's just a matter of if you can make the overheads work, and it doesn't matter how small you make it whatever you can, but like technology is a self-organizing biology kind of thing, like it's just going to happen. And if people like buying records. They're going to buy them from somewhere, and lots of people do. It's just, I don't know if it's a niche thing. People talk about it growing. It's just really great. Changes all the time. But yeah, we've got good branding. People know us and because we've been around for ages. But there's lots of great shops around these days, so that impacts us maybe more. But having said that, it's really cool that there's lots of good shops in Melbourne. Now more so than ever, because everyone is a research expert, which wasn't the case in the pre-internet days. You got to kind of listen to what people are asking for. That's kind of as important as what your gut feel kind of tells you should be stocking in the shop. For me, it's easy. Polyester's just been, established for a long time. It's a go-to for lots of, modern current indie stuff and just vaguely, indie or alternative music. Not that anyone uses that term anymore, but the bulk of what we stock is pretty easy to choose. But yeah, it's just keeping it interesting. Like I said, you go with your gut a bit and you listen to what people are asking for, and again, a bit of a self-organising system. My job's not that hard in that respect, yeah, just don't need a turntable, I guess. Like, lots of people, when they start buying LPs, they kind of maybe return a couple thinking that they're faulty, but it's just because they've got like an ancient turntable, or they don't know how to use their current one or whatever, which is not a criticism. It's just like, yeah, get to know your turntable and try to not buy a super cheap one. Yeah, it's worth it. If you're gonna pay a bunch of money for vinyl LPs, you want them to sound really good. And I'm not like one of those audiophile guys, but like vinyl can sound amazing and really different to a streaming experience, so you may as well have a reasonably nice turntable to absorb that experience. I'm sure there's lots of people that buy LPs that aren't playing LPs every day, and that's again not a criticism. It's like, it's a thing to collect, and I totally identify with that. I just think that certain types of music sound better on vinyl. Certain types of music sound better on CD to me as well. Like, I just think that mastering and the format can kind of bring some things to life. It's kind of like the idea of buying an album you've heard a million times before and buying it on vinyl and they've streamed it 10 years prior. Like, and that can be a different experience. Like, that's exciting to me, and because you don't really know exactly why. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, 100%, yeah.
That was a pretty cool story. I'm thinking I should go out and buy some of those records myself.
No, I agree, Simon. There's some records I've been looking to get too.
Really? Well, let's not get too sidetracked.
Okay then, stick around. Now it's time for personal development for artists. Today we meet fashion designer Linda, who creates original vintage-inspired designs at her boutique 6s and 7s in Fitzroy.
I'm the owner and designer at 6s and 7s Boutique in Fitzroy. Okay, well, all my designs are vintage inspired.
What inspires you to create?
Okay, well, there's so many things. First of all, I think I love dressing up and just shopping and finding the right piece, and op shopping, the thrill of op shopping and finding, a unique piece. But not only that, like mixing it with something modern and making it your own. Yeah, so I'm inspired by music and film. There might be outfits or just a certain look in a film that captures my attention, and then I just get ideas from that. And also customers in the store, they'll pick up a dress and try it on, and then it just comes to life. And it's not just the way it fits, but just the personality. It just see how it can transform someone and bring out a different part of their personality. I never used to think of them as being rituals, but I guess so. Mostly it's about resting and daydreaming half my day away. And I used to think that was just, me procrastinating, but now I just feel like it's an integral part to me getting ready. And so if I don't do that, I can't, my head just doesn't feel clear enough to focus. Another thing would be, eating well, feeling present and healthy. Otherwise I just can't focus. So they're the main things, I think. Yeah, a lot of daydreaming for sure. I guess I see more of the same, but on a bigger level. I hope to be producing more items, getting more stuff out there, and it's the beginning stages really. So, but yeah, I'd like to see it definitely expand. So yeah, more of the same.
That was pretty cool. Her designs are interesting and her cat is definitely adorable.
Absolutely. She's got quite the cool style. I might have to drop in there one day.
But for something completely different now, it's time to hear from local photographer Carlo Ogioni as we learn about his journey from beginner to professional.
My name is Carlo Ogioni and I'm 37 years old now. Originally from Milan, Italy, and I lived in Melbourne, Australia for the last 10.5 years. My interest in photography was very incidental. It started when I was very young, probably the age of 4, 5. My dad gave me, actually didn't give me a camera originally. He had this Russian reflex camera, film camera, which I really wanted to use desperately, and to a point that he actually gave it to me as a gift, and he said, you can, get the most out of it, or get the best out of it. And so my passion and interest in photography started there. So that's where I really clicked. That's where really photography clicked to me. Today, a bit of everything, to be honest. It depends on the job I take on. Usually for commercial work, like product shoot and fashion lookbooks and studio work, I usually use my Nikon digital SLR with several lenses. So this is a small street. This camera is what I use normally on the street, or if I have to do some sort of documentary work. Street photography cameras like Leica film cameras or digital Fuji. It depends really. I have a little bit of a collecting nature. I like to buy a lot of different cameras, different brands. I think as a career, it started maybe organically, but maybe when I went back to study photography for the second time in my life, a few years ago at Melbourne Polytechnic, I really felt like this could have been my life, and this could have been a lifestyle, and also a major, or let's say a predominant income for me, where I could get a living out of it. Obviously the passion was always there with photography, but in a way I saw growing in me more the interest in combining passion and remuneration. So probably 4 or 5 years ago while I was studying. So I've learned photography, I believe I was self-taught. It's an interesting story, but I believe I was self-taught before I went to school. Since the early days with my dad teaching me how to use his camera, and then I was able to save up some money and buy a new camera for myself, film camera. And my cousin, I remember in the basement of her little cafe in Italy, she dedicated a small space for me to recreate a darkroom. And so that I did a lot of printing and developing by myself before I even went to school. And then school was kind of refining the techniques and really knowing more what to look into, what to look for in the developing process or in the printing process, in taking the exposure, all of the technical sort of stuff that perhaps you might not be able to learn by yourself. But in a way, I believe I was always self-taught, and I just refined my practice and my knowledge through different studies. Obviously practice, but I like to research a lot. Coming back from a solid film, so analog photography background and culture, I felt like I was really lacking, in black and white especially, I felt like I was very lacking of color and digital, so I was not up to pace or up to speed with today's market. So I felt like I wanted to not only hone my skills, but also improve significantly my knowledge of photography and discover new areas like color photography, commercial photography, and especially digital, using digital cameras. And so yeah, that's when I decided to go back to Melbourne Polytechnic. The first camera I owned actually was a Russian Zenit. I still remember it came with its little, well actually big, with its big leather pouch, case, whatever you call it. It was super heavy. And then the very first camera I owned and I purchased myself and I owned was a Minolta, a DSLR Minolta film camera. My dream would be Tokyo, or at least Japan. Yeah, but probably not Tokyo, but I would say Japan, on the streets of Japan. Okay. I have an innate passion about Japanese art and culture, and photography-wise, I just think they're some of the most amazing modern photographers just come from Japan because of the reality they're surrounded and their culture and their tradition. Certainly urban, certainly urban photos. My interest is mainly in humans actually, people in general. And I think the human element in my photos is probably as important as the environment. Especially if you want to tell stories. Stories normally are told amongst people, and so in a way they have to relate to other people, and I feel like as much as there is to tell about or to talk about the environmental problems, climate change, I think nothing, in my opinion, is more impactful to other people than to actually allow them to see themselves in my pictures or in anyone's pictures. So definitely urban, or at least with people in it. Yeah.
What an interesting story. It's really inspiring stuff. What do you think, Simon?
I 100% agree. He's come a long way in terms of his art. You know, maybe I should go out and become a photographer.
I mean, there's no harm in trying. Just don't leave right now. We've got to finish the show.
Definitely. Look, I'm just getting a bit ahead of myself, I guess.
After the break, we check out an artist's favourite place, and Tuva Finseras will be performing their song While Our City Sleeps. Don't miss it.
And welcome back to the last section of this episode of PolyWaffle. Have you been enjoying it so far, Hannah?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's not over yet. There's still more to come.
She's right about that. Next up, we check in with Davin, a local artist, as she shares with us some of his favourite places.
My name is Davin Street. So my art is I build Gunpla, which is these things. These are models of Gundams from the anime series. The thing I enjoy most about doing them, I guess I find a bit of zen in the process of building them. It really helps me gather my thoughts and calm down, and then also like they look sick when they're built. I have a lot of fun just posing them. I tend to just build them here. This used to be my kitchen table. Yeah, I really like spending time at Metro Hobbies, or any model shop really. I like looking at the ones that they've built And especially when they build ones that I have, and just comparing how I've done it to how they have, you know, seeing whether they've done like an extra coating on top with, you know, like a finishing coat, or, you know, how much, whether I've done it better or they have, or whether they've panel lined it. That sort of stuff's cool and a bit of an inspiration for me to try to do better.
Gundam, more like gun. Damn, that was some awesome stuff right there.
True, true. He's really talented, and it's always cool to see someone inspired by anime.
Yeah, he clearly loves what he does, and it really shows in the final product.
I agree, but sadly, I think it's that time.
Oh, I think you might be right, Simon. A lot of cool stuff has happened this episode. What was your favourite?
Personally, I like Carlo and his photography because it's something we can all relate to, posting on Instagram daily. Everyone does it.
I think my favourite was Felipe and Natalie and their DIY dance routine. I loved it. Can't wait to try
I
it.
can definitely see that. But unfortunately, we have reached the end of another top episode of PolyWaffle.
To take us away, Tuva Finceras will be performing their song While Our City Sleeps. Until next time, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Simon.
And thank you for watching PolyWaffle. Have a great weekend, everyone.
A beating city, swimming in summer, sky of seagulls, but now it's October. I walk the empty streets while our city sleeps. While our city sleeps, I hear the river streams. Who has poisoned the flowers I gave you? Who has stolen our city of June? I walk the empty streets while our city sleeps. While our city sleeps, I watch the flowers freeze. Thrown on the deep, a glimpse of a sunbeam. Our season is changing. We meet on the square in the clearing. I watch the flowers thaw as melted snowflakes. I feel